Hello folks, welcome. It's the 9th of July. It is stinky hot here. We're having a really hot, at least 90 degrees plus session of days at the moment. So anyway, welcome. Yes, the lawns are getting dry and patchy. Desperately we need water, rain. Anyhow, I have been busy doing some decorating work. Let's just show you what I've been doing. So yes, these are all basically like Hakami type bowls. You'll see the texture of the Hakami there underneath the rather thin overglaze that goes on the top, which is like a kind of transparent glaze. Yeah, so these are all ones. You've seen me doing some of these already over the past videos, so I was going to get a few of them in. I've also got to get in some tankards, of course. Always got to get in some tankards. Well, they're good. Every potter needs to have some bread and butter pots, don't they? Pots that are just regular, good old faithful cellars. So these tea bowls here, which have this kind of spattered look around the decoration, I've actually done a little bit of chromium oxide there, that green. We'll see what how that behaves. A few of those taller style tea bowls there. All these pots will be available. I'll be firing it today. Oh, you've got some leftover pots up here as well from previous firings. Actually, I better make sure I get these guys in. Make sure I get them in. The joy about this little kiln is it's a doddle to fire, and I can really pack the whole thing in 20 minutes really, if I put my mind to it. So yes, just doing the bottom here, just something to note for those of you who fire. By gas anyway, you'll see these two bud vases here. Well, I've got them in front of the cutout at the base of the chimney there for a reason, because I didn't want to put tankards up tight against it and block the gas flow, you know, through the chimney. So with this kiln now, I'm learning it's a good idea just to have something small there by the chimney. The other thing to note is with these raw firings, you can actually put the pots, pack them very tight so that they are literally touching each other. I don't always have them touching, but you can actually. In fact, I did it in the last firing. I fired some pots actually physically touching when I put them in. Of course, they pull back during the firing. So I've got my cone in here. It's a cone 10, right opposite the spy hole. Always a good idea. Check that. Make sure that you can see the cone easily through the spy hole. So I've got him positioned, and now I'm going to pack in the pots here on this bottom shelf. Then put in the top shelf down there, and then pack the rest around that. So that's the story so far. Look, I've even got some more tankards up here, but a load of cobwebs as well. Ugh. That tells you something, doesn't it? Cobwebs. Well, I was away a bit, wasn't I? Up in Alaska. So, yes. Alright. I'm just going to put the camera on the tripod, I think. Maybe, actually, maybe. Just put the. If I situate the tripod there, kind of looking down into the kiln. Something like that. So if you've had pots sitting around for a little while, you may need to just give them a blowout like that. I'll be able to put a couple of these down on either side of the shelf, on the right on the base, on the right on the floor of the actual kiln. There's room to put. I don't have any more bud vases to go in there. Right, let's see what else I can fit in there. Let's take some of these guys. So when you're packing a kiln, just need to sort of think about heights. Think about heights. Yeah. With a gas kiln, you don't really want to be, you know, if you get to a point where you put pots in and then you think, I don't need to have that quite as tight as that there, then pull it back. You don't have to have it. If you don't have to have it as tight, then pull it back. Aim for better gas airflow over trying to cram it too much. I think you've got to get in every little last space. I mean, I know, I used to work for my dad. He used to be like that. He used to be, you know, always there's a spot up there, so I think we can just get a little something in there, you know. Well, okay, good, but just think about it in terms of the quality of the pots that are going to come out at the end of it, and all this cramming of pieces sometimes is not the best idea. Sometimes you're better off putting one piece less in, maybe. Now see, here's an example. I don't know if you can see this because of the light here, but so I've got these 3 pots here. They're kind of tight, and I've got a prop here, and then I've got a big gap here. Well, I'm not going to be able to put anything in there, so you might as well just pull this back a bit. Hear what I'm saying? Pull it back a bit, so now I've got a bit of space around here as well as over there. You know, just space them a bit. Think that you are a flame, and you don't want to be going around a pot, you know, and then there's a traffic jam and there's no place to move to get through. Just pull everything back a bit, space it out, let a little bit of airflow around the pot. You see, I think that's good advice. What's up, fly? Got a fly up there, or a bee, buzzing. So another point here, and that is, so when you're packing and you've got like a hot face here, whoa, see what I did? I'm busily trying to explain, and I got to knock everything flying. I got a prop now that's falling down underneath. So got to get him out. That's what happens, you see, if you talk too much. What was I trying to say? Are we seeing this? I don't know what this camera's seeing at the minute. I'm going to pull it forward a bit. Stoop it over there. Yeah, so what I was trying to say was... so this is the hot side of the kiln here. Because that's where the flame comes up underneath this bottom shelf. And it hits this deflector here. This is a deflector brick. Okay, it hits this deflector and is then thrust upwards. So just think about pots that are overhanging this front face, this shelf. You don't want them hanging out too far. You get me? Because you can toast them, overfire them maybe. Alright. Okie dokie, moving on. Moving on. It's just a fact, you know, sometimes you're not going to get pots that are the right size for the space that you've got. Well, this pot here, I can put that one in there, which is very slightly larger. So might as well put it in, as we're not going to be able to get anything else in there. So use the space for extra airflow around the pieces. That's it. We're not going to be able to, not really going to be able to get anything more. So another thing, that is, if you do have pots that are close to the hot face, if they've got a decoration on them like this, then turn the decoration away from the hot face. Okay? Because if you have the decoration hanging over the hot face, it's more likely that the oxide pigments are going to run and the decoration might be slightly spoiled. Alright, so I'm just checking that now. I'm going to put the next shelf in. Just check these props are in right place, etc. Okay, so I pick up a shelf off the floor. If it's been sitting on the floor, you want to clean off the bottom edge. Okay, clean off this bottom edge where it's been on the floor, because it'll pick up dust and dirt. Give it a tap, give it a blow. Right, now take that shelf. Be careful of the thermocouple. Work around the thermocouple there. Alright, now position the shelf. Make sure that the shelf is centrally positioned. If you're not sure, you can measure the gap on either side. Okay? Right, so now we're going to go ahead and pack the next of these tankards. Yeah, I got an order for a couple of tankards. Somebody, just before I went to Alaska, they ordered two Celadon tankards, and I didn't have any Celadon one. So I said I can give you two milky white ones if you want, or you'll have to wait till I get back and then. So, whoops, clumsy. It's amazing how clumsy one can be. You don't realise how clumsy you are till you have to pack a kiln. Hello? Anybody hear me? Yeah. So I get a few more of these guys in. And I've got some. I won't get all these in, you see. I can only get about 25 pots in here. Something like that. 25. So I'll put that one in the middle there. I'll put that one there. Put that one there. Again, here I can't get more than 3 across, so you might as well just space them nicely. to get maximum airflow. When we're talking about airflow, we're talking about reduction gases that are passing round and through the pots, and we want to get a good reduced effect, don't we? So it's actually important. Now, very occasionally, I'll overhang the foot of a pot over the edge of the shelf. If you do that, just be aware, be careful, and don't do it by more than about. If you are going to overhang a foot, I wouldn't overhang it by more than 1/4 of the total, because you could get it sagging, you know, warping, pulling out of shape. That fly's got a lot to say, isn't it? Giving me advice. What are you seeing up there? Oh, is that what you said? Okay. The fly told me that. Put in a good number of tankards. Alright. So as you pack, you then... It's a creative process, isn't it, packing a kiln? It's a game of jiggery pokery. You move things around, and as you pack it, you see fresh spaces opening up, and that gives you an idea for another pot that will fit just in that space or whatever, you know. I've got some little bowls here, but these guys, but you see, being it's wider and not so tall, so that's not going to work for me there, you see, because that's hanging over too much. So we have to go for a taller straight up and down form, which is going to be a tankard. But then, oh gosh, I'm so clumsy today, I don't know why. Look, I just banged it on a shelf there accidentally. That's going to have to be touched up. I know why it is. I slept rather heavily last night. I woke up and I was... Do you ever do that? You wake up feeling a bit like you slept heavily, and I'm coming out here to the studio. It's the morning at the moment, and I don't feel very like I have much finesse. Do you know? Do you ever feel like that? Don't have much finesse. I feel a little bit. I feel a bit goofy, you know. Goofy, Simon. What's that? Yeah, goofy. I feel a bit goofy, but you know. All right, so that's it. Respecting the front hot face here. Okay, and also space around the pots. Now, if I had more pots and I could get them in, and I could squeeze in that extra pot, would I do it? Well, yeah, I probably would, you know. I probably would. Despite all I've told you about space and airflow, I very well might be tempted to squeeze it in. I guess that's something we're all guilty of, isn't it, as potters? Just squeezing that little extra piece in that we can see a space for. Alright, okay, so that's it. Next thing, gonna shut this. Yes, fly, I hear you. Okay, there he is. Right, we're about ready to light this guy up now. So if this is still going, this video, I think it is. Let's just check these gas bottles and see how much gas I got left in them. So sometimes if you're just starting a kiln, you know, on a low flame, you can use a gas bottle that's got a little bit left. I've got a feeling this one here has got a little bit left. Come on. Oh, doing it the wrong way, aren't I? Don't forget, it's a reverse thread. Reverse thread. No, I told you I was half asleep. Okay. Now then. Simon, you need another cup of coffee. I reckon I do. Okay, that's good. Now I need my, let's just focus down there on the burner. I can hardly see anything. What's going on here? Yeah, the sunlight is really making it difficult. Oh, I see, yeah, okay. Got it. Okay, so what we want to do is line this burner up, you see? Now, we don't want to stuff the burner right in there like that, okay? You want to have it out by sort of that distance, whatever that is. Do it by eye, but you know, about an inch protruding out from the port, the burner port. Okay? And then here I turn that off. I turn the gas on. Yeah, there's a bit of gas there, not much. Not much. What do I do for lighting this? Well, that isn't going to work. I did have a box of matches here once. I don't know where they got to. Okay, well, I'll have to find those matches and light it. I was hoping to have lit it, but can't find the matches. So I'll do that after this video concludes. Okay, so you can just imagine it's a light. It's ready to light. And you just light it, and then you want to keep it on a very low flame for probably the first hour and a half, even 2 hours. Just keep it real low, and then just start gradually turning it up. I'll be keeping a kiln log, and I'll be checking in with this through the day. But for now, this morning, I don't know what the time is, 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning. We'll just let this. Probably won't do much until lunchtime, and then I'll be turning it up, and then probably starting reduction, you know, come the end of the afternoon, and probably finish by about 10 o'clock tonight. Maybe we'll check in. I will check in with you in relation to the opening of the kiln now, so you can see hopefully the good results. Go to my website, simonleachpottery.com. If you want to do a Zoom class, I'm getting more interest in Zoom again now. So if that's something that interests you, go there, check out my website. Also, next weekend we are having a workshop here. I think I have 5 or 6 people coming. So, but check out other workshops. There's other dates there. If you feel like coming, then bite the bullet. Come. You won't regret it. What else can I say? Yes, need to get more pots up on the Etsy site. I know. But when I open this kiln tomorrow we'll go through it and we'll have a lot of pots for sale. So come and have a look. I'll see you then. Meanwhile, we keep practicing. Yes, we do. Bye for now.